Hi everyone, my name's Anne-Marie. Welcome to this tricks and technique video. Today we're going to do something really different. We're going to look at Pixie Powders. Pixie Powders are a micro-packed powder that disperses colour when it's mixed with water. When water hits it, it can give a starburst effect. You can paint with it, you can cover it, you can use it in your spritzers, you can do so many different things with it. And we're just going to touch the surface with it today because I know so many of my viewers aren't what we'd call messy crafters, and sometimes they see a product and think, how's that going to work for me? Could I do it? What would I do with it? And how does it work, type of thing. And you never ask and you just don't find out. So I want to sort of dispel the myths about some of the products that are on the market, just to show you what you can do with them, or basically how you can use them, or how I would use them, and then hopefully that would show you how you could. So Pixie Powders come in a little bottle like this. This one I'm using is by Cosmic Shimmer. It is bronze blush. Now it doesn't look much in the little pots. You can't really see the colour, you can't see what it does, but you know, it does pack a punch, does this one. It's 30ml in size. It's going to last you for ages, absolutely ages, because it isn't like using it as a paint or anything. You're not going to use a good chunk of it. You only use it less than talcum powder, I would say. So I'm going to show you a few examples and then I'm going to show you how to use it in a basic manner. So this is the effect that we're going to go for today. Now, can you see the different colours in it, and you can see the shine that it gives? This is just using the one bottle. This is the only bottle I have. I purchased it from a website, as when I knew I was doing the 31 days, I wanted to include Pixie Powders. So I purchased it. It's not a sponsored demonstration or anything, but I just wanted to show you one powder. And look at the colours that you get. There's red, there's peacock blue, a touch of yellow, pink, bronze, all metallic. And I'm using it on plain cardstock. This was after I'd used one of the Pixie Powders to make this. I pressed a second one while it was wet on top of it and I got a second sheet. So I got two for the price of one from that. This was, as I was messing about, I decided to coat my cardstock with it, using it like a paint. So you can see the shimmer on that. And that again is just sort of messing about, using lots of water on the card and then putting the Pixie Powders on. This again, I was trying to be more directional with this. Blobs of the water from the water brush. I'll show you how we did it. And then add in the Pixie Powders, and you can see the range of colours that are in it. And then this is using it on black. Now it's called bronze blush, but you can see it looks very green on the black. For today I'm going to use it on white card because I want it to show up while we're working. Sorry, I was reaching for a blank piece and I got yesterday's demonstration. So I'm going to use white card. It's uncoated and it's just simply 180 GSM. So for this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use it in the basic manner and I'm going to use it with a spritzer. This is just plain water in the spritzer. So the first thing is, when you take the top off your Pixie Powder, it's got a very fine nozzle. And I would advise you working on scrap paper because you might find your desk gets a little bit wet. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to simply tap our bottle and little pieces of powder will fall out. I'm tapping it at the side of the bottle. If you are tempted to tap from the bottom, you get a different type of puff of paint and powder coming out. I tap from the side because I think you get a little bit less tapping from the side. And I know you're thinking, well, I can hardly see it on the paper, Anne-Marie. There's nothing there. And you're right, there's hardly anything on this paper. But trust me, there's enough there for the colour. So I'm going to take my spritzer and I'm simply going to start at one side and I'm going to spritz across the paper. And all of a sudden, it bursts into life. And that is it. You can leave it like that. If you want more colour, then you can tap a little bit more onto your card or paper. If you want your colour to spread a little bit more, add a little bit more of a spritz and it will go further. Turn the direction of your card so it's bursting into life again. Your card will start to buckle if it's not a watercolour card. I'm not using watercolour card. However, when it dries, it will dry flat again. So that is how I got the first effect that we looked at, just by simple spritzing and adding powder. Don't forget, every one will be completely different. Let me zoom in a little bit just so that you can sort of see the effects. So everyone will be different, you'll never get two the same. So I'm just going to put that one to one side. Next, I'm going to show you an effect where I used blobs of water and from my water brush, and I simply add drops onto the card like that. Oops. So just simple blobs of water, and then I try and add powder onto or very close to the blobs that we've dropped on the paper. Now eventually these will soak in to the card and it will merge outwards, and then the colour will end up something like that. If you want to help the colour, you can always go back in with your water brush and simply spiral it like so, and again they will soak in and it will spread in colour. So I'm going to pop that to one side as well, and we'll see how it looks when we're finishing. Next, you can also paint with your Pixie powder. So what you tend to do is take a piece of, I would say, scrap paper or scrap wax-proof paper, or if you've got a glass tile, something like that. Knock a little bit of Pixie powder on to your tile or whatever it is that you're using, a non-porous surface. Then take your water brush, add a few drops of water into it. Now, because it's full of mica, it's full of colour, you're going to get a gorgeous wash like that. Now, mine's looking really green. There we go. And I always think it kind of changes colour depending on what card you're using, what surface you're using it on. But don't forget, this is bronze blush. So let's just clean my brush on here, and let's see if we can get it to look a different colour as well by doing it on directional on a card. So check I've got water in my brush still. We'll leave that one to dry. So I'm going to literally tap onto my card the powder again, like so. Now I've used quite a lot there, but I want you to see this effect as I drop water onto my paper. Now it's coming through green because I haven't cleaned my brush, so I'm quite naughty. So I'm going to mop that up and clean my brush, try and get it to run through clear. There. And drop the water on so it's coming through clear now. And then I'm going to spread just in general around the paper to make a gorgeous background. A bit more water, and as it dries you can see the colours changing like that. There we go. And so that is giving you a merge of the colours that are in the Pixie powder. What you could do is, while your wet paper is still wet, go in and drop a little bit more powder on it, like that. And as it dries, it will spread and the colour will just ooze out. If your paper starts drying and you haven't got enough water on, spritz it again. Keep it wet until you've got the colour that you want it to have. So that's another idea for it. There's so many different uses that you can do with it. The thicker that you mix it, let's go back to our little mixing piece. I'll turn that over so it's clean, and we'll get another piece. Now, if you mix it and you've got quite a lot of powder and you don't put a lot of water in with it, maybe just 1 drop, 2 drops, and you mix it quite thickly, the depth of colour is going to be a lot darker. So you can see it's like an oil bronzy green colour. It's simply gorgeous, it really is. It's a great product to work with because you can do so many different things. And as it's drying, you can see the wet shine, but then once it's dry, you'll see the shimmer that it actually gives you. You can just start to see it on that one. So these are the ones we've done. We've done the depth painting, your backgrounds, a light colour wash, and then we've got the directional with the dots, dropping it into water, and then we've got the first one that we did for a background. I love this one because of the actual range of colours that you can get in it. So I hope that gives you an idea about how to use Pixie Powders. It's a great product for mixed media, for your card making, for doing so many different things with, and just having a good old play. If you like a Sunday afternoon and you just want to play with the product to see what you can get out of it, this is a good one. I hope you've enjoyed watching. This is one of the tricks and techniques for 31 days in January, and I've enjoyed doing them all, and we've got a few more left to go yet. So please feel free to comment, please share, please give me a like, and I'd just like to say thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.